this is what I've observed, people, okay? As, again, someone who's been center-left most of my life, now I'm center-right. Hashtag walked away. It seems to me that a lot of passionate liberals, underneath their story, they have this wound. They have this insatiable wound screaming in their way, accept me as who I am, see my pain, see me, I'm hurting, okay? That's underneath a lot of this stuff. The BLM, the transgender movement, a lot of stuff is see me, accept me, my pain matters, right? From the other side, what is important to many of us today, many of us conservatives, don't threaten my security, don't threaten my freedom, because I know and I have seen the alternative, right? So these are universal needs: acceptance, security, freedom. We can all identify with these human needs. So uniting the country does not mean, okay, now everyone has to accept and feel our pain. No. I want to see different messages. I want to see an acknowledgement of everyone's pain points, not just the ones with the loudest microphone who are dominating our mainstream media, who do not speak for the majority of the country. No. Okay? Unity, let's break it down to relationships, right? Why do relationships fall apart? When you have an empowered victimhood mentality, you're not going to have a healthy relationship. When you have a relationship that has no ability to have empathy or to listen or to actively listen, even if they disagree, you're not going to have a healthy relationship. If there's going to be hypocrisy and double standards, I can do it, but you can't, it's not going to be a healthy relationship. It's not going to be a healthy relationship if you want to come together and say it's all your fault, if only you would change. It's not going to be a healthy relationship. No. So, as I like to also say, for many people, especially a lot of people who enjoy yoga, at the end of most yoga classes, when we're in Shavasana, I think that's what it's called, it's been so long, what do most yoga and Pilates instructors say? Be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. Okay? Liberals? And a few, a few bad apples on the right too. But be the change that you want to see. So when you name call, and when every other word out of your mouth is a bad word, when I have to hear F Donald Trump blasting on the speakers of streets, really? Is that inspiring? Is that the change you want to see? Is that unifying? Perhaps get back into curiosity, because we should be united in this fantastic, amazing, great country that we are so lucky to be in, especially as a Jew, as a Jewish woman, where I know that in many parts of this country I could not be speaking so freely. We must unite on what we can all share in our core values. It is not about who's right and who's wrong. Okay? Seek to have empathy without being disrespectful. And if you disagree, which is your right to do so, respectfully agree to disagree. It's possible. And if you can't do that in your politics, where else can't you do that in your life? How are your relationships going? How's your relationships with your partner, with your kids, with your friends, with your boss? How's it going? Because I can bet you, if you are this angry and hateful with politics, where else is that anger and hate showing up? Where has it been displaced? Because I'm so sorry to tell you, Donald Trump is not responsible for all of your issues. He's not. He might trigger daddy issues. He might trigger ex-boyfriend issues. He might trigger some issues for you, but it's not Donald Trump. He's just the mirror. Okay? Everyone in our life is our mirror. If we are being triggered for the good or for the bad, it's our mirror for where we need to grow. Stop blaming the world for your problems. Okay? Great. It feels so good to just come out loud and proud with where I stand on these. In fact, it's actually shifting my career, to be honest. I'll tell you guys more on that later, but it's very exciting. This, anytime we move forward in energy, it's a good thing. Follow the energy, people. Follow the positive energy. If this is moving you into positive action, follow that, because we need your voices too. The moderate voice has been buried, but I know many of us are aligned on both sides of the spectrum. There are many center left and center right who are appalled at our state of affairs, but who can do so with respect and honor the pain points of where we found ourselves. It is not an accident that Donald Trump has gotten elected. It is not an accident that 70 million people voted for Trump. Okay? Joe Biden did not get the popular vote because he's so popular. A lot of that vote came from the hatred of Trump. You know, the brainwashed, spoon-fed hatred of the narratives. But Joe Biden was not the favorite. He was the fifth in the Iowa caucuses. The only reason he became the nominee is because all of the other candidates, you know, Buttigieg and Warren, they all knocked each other out. And there was Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden just standing there. And Bernie Sanders was a little bit too left, even for the left. So they elected Joe Biden by default. Now, I am not going to be mean to Joe Biden. I don't know him personally. Actually, I do know him personally. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Biden in 2007, the big year of the primaries at AIPAC in D.C., where I also was able to meet Hillary Clinton and Obama. That was when I was still very much center-left, and he's a great guy. I don't have anything personal against him. I think there's a lot of things about him that I like, okay? But there's a lot of things about him that the media's not going to tell you about that I don't like. I don't like that he has full-on lied to the American people time and time again, and the media don't hold him accountable. They don't have the same standards. This is what's pissing off the people on the right. Donald Trump is no means perfect. And I'm going to say something. The large part of why his election was so hard for him to secure this time around is because he shows no great ability to refine himself, to refrain from tweeting, to refrain from being unfiltered, and it is a turnoff. It is a turnoff. But unfortunately, the same standards don't apply to Biden, who has been shown time and time again to lie, but he does so much more diplomatically. He's just a lot less in your face about it. So what we are all about, hold both candidates to the same standards. I'm not going to just blindly excuse Trump's bad behavior also. Standards should be applied equally. There needs to be a lot more objectivity in our news. You cannot just report part of the story and call it fact. You have to report all of the story. So a lot of us who've gone to the right are pissed off at the hypocrisy. That is not how you have a healthy relationship. Okay? Hold both candidates to the same standards. This is why a lot of Israelis are very pro-Trump, because we've seen time and time again how the Palestinians, how countries in the UN are not held to the same disproportionate standard that Israel is. That Israel has shown time and time again restraint and democracy and an ability to show good, peaceful intentions, and it's not often met on the other side, but that does not often make the news. So my message is, again, if you want true unity and you love our country, start with yourself. How are you showing up in your relationships? Are you angry? Do you blame? Do you listen? Is there fairness? Is there a willingness to be curious about the other side's perspective? Because the relationship is actually more important than egos? How are you showing up? Okay? If you enjoyed this and would like to learn more about how I work, please go to my website, DanielaBloom.com. I'd love to help you bloom to where you're planted and get back to your full potential in life and love, because to be honest, if 2020 has taught us anything, it means that 2021 is not promised. Who knows what's going to happen? Life is too short to be counted on. Start right where you are to get back on track to your full potential in love and life. And it starts from within. So I hope you enjoy this content. By the way, I am having a ball on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I will put my handle up in the feed because I'm having videos there that I'm making that I'm not showing anywhere else. And man, it is so great to find your voice and find your community. And if this inspires you to do the same, please step out. Please step out unapologetically and speak from your heart and speak your truth, and do it in a respectful way. You're not responsible for how people will interpret it. And with that, God bless America, and blessings to all of you. Bye.